Greetings everyone, this is Jed Shlackman, and in this video I'll be speaking about chakra psychology and a holistic model of health and human life. For those that may be new to the chakras are energy centers, so they exist on a subtle energy level. The word chakra comes from the Sanskrit language, where it would translate to mean a wheel of light. So you could imagine the chakras as these spinning vortices of energy or light. And in a sense, they connect our spiritual energy field with our physical body and our physical experience. In the Vedic and yogic traditions, the chakras have been explored and discussed a great deal. In chakra psychology, we're kind of bringing together that energetic or spiritual perspective with some more modern understandings about psychology and human development. So if we look at the chakras, what they are and what they represent, we can begin by examining the basic 7 chakra system, where we have the chakras that go up the center of our body from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head. So the first chakra is called the root or base chakra, and that's located down at the tip of the tailbone. It's referred to in the Sanskrit language as Muladhara, and this chakra really has to do with our basic survival, with our connection to the earth and the physical elements of life. So our basic safety, security, and stability. Then we come up to the second chakra. This chakra is located in the area where our reproductive glands are. It's called the sacral chakra. And this chakra pertains to our creativity and our sexuality. It also has much to do with our basic family relationships, so the tribal level of our existence in that sense. We come up now to the third chakra, and before we go into that one, just a quick mention that the Sanskrit name for the sacral chakra is Svadhisthana. So now we come up to the third chakra, which is referred to as Manipura, the solar plexus. This chakra is located around the navel area, and it has to do really with how we're digesting our life experience and how we're expressing and asserting ourselves in relation to the world around us. So this is really your personal power center, how you radiate and express yourself. It's not a coincidence that the name of the chakra refers to the sun, solar plexus. Next we come up to the heart chakra. This one is called Anahata, and the heart chakra is the center for our emotions, in particular for emotions relating to love and compassion. So it's here where we really connect on a heart level with other people. The first 3 chakras have more to do with the basic survival and tribal levels of life, just feeling secure and empowered. So that's more of an ego-centered aspect of our consciousness. Whereas when we come up to the heart chakra, we're expanding our concerns and our caring to things more beyond the self, having compassion and empathy for others, feeling our connection to all of life. Now we're coming to the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra. Vishuddha is the name for that chakra. The throat chakra is our communication center, so it has much to do with speaking and listening, how we're able to communicate and share our ideas and our feelings. So being able to develop that level of communication where we build more understanding with others, where our ideas are able to be shared and we're able to in some way understand what other people are thinking or feeling based upon those communications. In human life, communication can be very challenging or difficult since we're using human languages most of the time to communicate, and we may not all share the exact same understandings of how these words are expressing things. The next chakra, the sixth chakra in this system, is the third eye or brow chakra. This chakra in Sanskrit is called Ajna. This chakra relates to our higher perception, to our vision, to our intellectual and intuitive understanding of things. So it is really all about how we're seeing things. And the seventh chakra, the one that's located just above the head or at the crown, this one in Sanskrit is called Sahasrara, and it's the chakra of our connection to the spiritual realm. This pertains to how we feel like or experience our relationship to the divine, to God, to a greater spiritual source. It also has a lot to do with our interaction or perception of the spiritual realm. So in the crown chakra area, people are often communicating with things on a spiritual level, whether it's spiritual guides, deceased ancestors, archetypal patterns or energies. So all of those phenomena may be reflected in the energy of the crown center. Now if we look at a model or a system of human development, we can see that as human beings we deal with all of these different issues or concerns that are reflected in the chakras. So there are times in life where you are very much focused on your basic physical survival, on your physical health, on having food and shelter. There are times when you're focused very much on intimate relationships, on dealing with issues pertaining to your family system or to your tribe per se, whether it's biological relatives, a tribe in that sense, or your local community or your circle of friends, people that you feel that type of connection with. So having that sense of belonging, whether it is to your family, to your community, to some group that you feel you're a part of. And of course there's the creativity that's reflected in this center. So when we're connected on that level with other people, we're co-creating. So if you have an intimate partner, you would be co-creating with them if you produce a child. But this isn't just on a biological level. We're always creating or co-creating things in our life, whether it's art or music or writing, teaching, inventing things. There are many different ways in which we're using our creative energy. Then, of course, we are having relationships with other people where our sense of personal power is always important. In most relationships, there tends to be some type of imbalance in the power dynamic, where one person is more dominant and another person is more receptive or submissive in that particular relationship. And we're not just talking about intimate relationships. This involves pretty much all of our relationships, whether it's in the workplace, where there's an employer and an employee. Could be an organization where there's a leader and there are support staff in that organization. It could be in a family where there are parent-child relationships, older sibling and younger sibling relationships. So there are many different ways in which power dynamics can appear in our human relationships. And of course, at the heart level, it's natural for human beings to find someone or something to have compassion and caring toward. It may be people in your family, it may be pets or animals, it may be other people in your community that you care about. You may care for underprivileged children, you may care for the environment, you may care for people that are hungry or homeless. There are many different ways in which people express their empathy and compassion. And then, of course, with communication, there are many different ways in which we are communicating with others. It may be through the spoken word, through writing. We may be expressing things through art, through music. We may be doing things in terms of communication on a one-on-one basis. You might be a counselor. You might be communicating on a larger scale. Perhaps you're expressing things through a radio show, through a television show, through books you've written. So there are many different ways in which this communication center is active. Then we come up to the higher levels, higher consciousness, seeing things beyond just our own individual self, just beyond just our own family or community, perhaps looking at things on a global level. We may be a philosopher. We may be someone who's very much into cosmology, into looking at the big picture of life, the big picture of creation. What is our spiritual purpose? How is our human life connected to existence on non-physical levels? So how is the spiritual plane working in concert with what's happening on the physical level? So the 6th and 7th chakras tend to relate more to those spiritual concerns, to looking at human life as part of something that is beyond just human or physical life, part of a spiritual creative process or spiritual exploration. So that's kind of an overview of these different aspects of human life. And to some extent, we all have those different levels of life playing out in our daily experience. We may be focused more in some areas of life than others, but we each exist on all these levels. We all have this physical body. We all are part of a family, a community, a country, or the human race. We all interact with other people in some way, some more so than others, but we all have some human relationships, even if those relationships are occurring to a great extent in our own mental experience rather than in our actual day-to-day interaction. So you may not be seeing your parents, you may have separated from them long ago, but archetypally they exist in your mind, in your consciousness, so it's as if in some way that relationship is continuing to exist. And then of course, some people focus a lot on philosophical matters, on spiritual concerns. So this is all a part of our life. And we all may have some challenges, some disturbances or imbalances in these different areas of our life. And when things are not flowing smoothly and harmoniously, this gets reflected in some type of constriction or tension that's present in the energy field, particularly focused in those chakra areas. So a person that works in the healing arts who's working on an energetic level will often be working on clearing those constrictions or distortions in the energy flow. This can be done through hands-on types of energy healing, methods like Reiki or pranic healing or quantum touch. This can be done using sound, so the sound vibration can help clear the chakras. Color and light can also be used to work on clearing chakras. We can also do things with scents, with aromas, with herbs that work on a subtle energy level. You can do meditations, different types of practices to create balance with your own consciousness. So you may meditate on your chakra, you may explore those particular issues in your life and ways that you can bring either more or less energy toward a particular area to create more balance. Sometimes we may be over-focusing on something where there's an excess of energy, and sometimes we're neglecting something, we're not bringing enough energy to that area. So we may need to bring more energy or attention there to restore balance. Chakra psychology is a topic that we can explore in much greater depth, since there is so much to learn and understand about the chakras and our energy system, and about human life and human development, how we can become more balanced and whole, more complete as a human being. I hope that this introductory discussion has given each of you some insight into what your chakras are, how they relate to your life experience, and also how you can begin to work on bringing more balance to your chakras and to your life. For those that are interested in this subject, I invite you to view more of my YouTube videos. You may also wish to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. There you'll find information on many different aspects of holistic health, as well as information on connecting or contacting me to reach out and receive some individualized support. There's information on the specific individual and group healing services that I facilitate. For now, I'd like to just wish each of you a wonderful day. Namaste.